You've heard of Niagara Falls, I'm sure. Everyone has heard of Niagara Falls, the honeymoon capital of the world. But what if I told you that not very far away is an area, a town with 500-year-old maple trees, hilltop vineyards, and a country charm that would make you feel like you were right in the middle of a Hallmark movie? Well, maybe not even in the middle of one when the relationship seems to be on edge and everybody's unhappy and they're about to break up. We're talking more like at the end of a Hallmark movie when everybody has been restored and love is flowing again. That is the epitome of what it feels like to live in Pelham. Welcome to Living in Niagara with the Ellen and Scott team at Revel Realty. I'm Scott White, and if you find this video informative, educational, and even a little bit entertaining, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notifications so that you can be one of the very first people to hear of anything happening here in Niagara. Whether it is where to go, or where to eat, or anything about the real estate market, where to buy, where not to buy, and how affordable it is here. In today's video, we are going to take a deep dive into the area of Pelham. We're going to pull it up on the map, show you all about it. It's some history, some activities, where to go, all about the real estate market, and some other tidbits of information that you are not going to want to miss. And you'll find out all you need to know about Pelham, this hidden gem here in Niagara. So let's jump over here to our Google map and take a look at where this Niagara gem is found. Pelham. You can see it here, highlighted right here, tucked neatly between St. Catharines right here, up in the northeast corner, and Welland down here at the bottom, right here in the heart of Niagara. The area of Pelham was settled way back in the 1700s by the hard-working, family-oriented, and farming people of the Quakers and the Mennonites. They came here seeking religious freedom and fertile soil, which this area abounds with even to this day. So basically, Pelham was cool long before it was trendy. And that community structure and value that the Quakers brought with them and still holds to the area of Pelham today. And community events are the heartbeat of the town. For example, all throughout the summer, every Thursday evening, Pelham holds what they call the Summer Concert Series at Peace Park in Fonthill. They have local talent from all over Niagara Region and Ontario, and some are really great. And let me tell you, if you want a good seat at the bandstand here at Peace Park in Fonthill, you're going to want to come and set your chairs up with all the other locals at 7 a.m. in the morning. Yep, that's right. You're going to see hundreds of chairs positioned in front of the bandstand Thursday morning, starting at 7 o'clock, getting more and more and more as the day progresses, as people are saving their favorite spot for that evening's concert. So if you want to meet some of the locals, you want to get the real sense of what Pelham community is all about, you're going to want to come Thursday evening at 7 p.m. throughout the summer months. And speaking of family fun, another great place to check out here in Pelham is Agape Valley. Agape Valley is a Christian-run sugar bush, and come March and early spring, they have, of course, all the sugar bush fun activities. You can go and tap trees, learn how they make maple syrup, and they obviously have homemade pancakes with their fresh maple syrup to go on top of them. But all throughout the summer, Agape Valley also offers day camps for kids, for them to come and enjoy the bush, have activities and sports, and learn, yes, probably all about the sugar bush. So if your kids do come to the Agape Valley day camp throughout the summer, do expect them to come home a little sticky, no? Family and community is one of the hallmarks of the Pelham area. As I said earlier, the Quakers and Mennonites migrated here in Pelham, and they brought with them their love of the land. So Pelham is full of agricultural activities. There's endless orchards, apple orchards, cherry orchards, peach, and a lot of these orchards offer pick your own stuff. So I remember as a kid, every summer coming up here to Pelham. I was born and raised in Port Colborne, so we would come up here to Pelham, to the Font Hill area, and we would pick our own cherries. It is a fond memory that I have growing up. Although I must admit, I probably put more cherries in my stomach than in the basket when I was 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. But shh, don't tell anybody that, eh? And if you're a wine lover, rejoice if you're here in Pelham. We have tons of local wineries right here in Pelham, as we do all throughout the Niagara region. Like, check out Henry of Pelham, right up here at the upper corner of Pelham, right on the border of St. Catharines. And Thorold is Henry of Pelham for award-winning wines. And then we have Rockway Vineyards. Not only do they have vineyards in Rockway, they also have golf courses. So you can, on the watering hole of the golf course, grab yourself some grape juice. That is adult grape juice I'm talking about. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And in spring, we're not just talking about the orchards, we're talking tulips as well. Every spring, tulip farms paint the hillside of Pelham with fragrant blooms of vibrant colored tulips. Visit Sarah Gray Pick Farm in Fenwick and the TASC Tulip Pick Farm in Ridgeville, just off Highway 20. Both let you wander through their vibrant fields and pick your own bouquets. A fabulous place for great family photos. It's like your own piece of Holland, Niagara style. The average household here in Pelham, they earn about $108,000 a annual income. That is higher than the average here in all of Niagara region. Pelham and Niagara on the Lake are the most prestigious, affluent areas in the Niagara region. The whole of Niagara region, on average, they make about $85,000 a household. And Pelham is slightly higher than the Ontario provincial average of about $102,000 household income. 60% of the residents here in Pelham are post-secondarily educated. With the average age in Pelham 47, that shows us that this is an older community. There still are plenty of young families, but there is a significant number of retirees, people who've downsized right from Toronto, GTA, and other areas, coming here to Pelham to the quieter lifestyle that we have here in Pelham. It's a perfect place when you're done adulting, no? So if you're thinking of downsizing, looking at retiring anytime soon, whether that's 9 days or 9 months or 9 years, please do not hesitate to give Ellen and myself a call. Send us a text, shoot us an email. We'll follow up and make sure that your downsizing experience to the Niagara region, specifically here in Pelham, runs extremely smooth and stress-free, getting you ready for the tranquility of the community life here in Pelham. But if you are not looking at retiring anytime soon, there are still other job opportunities in the Pelham area, not just in agriculture. If you want to try your green thumb, if you have a green thumb that is, and want to try farming or agricultural activities here in Pelham, come on over. But maybe you're like a lot of the other professionals who live here in Pelham, and they either work from home part-time or full-time and or commute. They're going to commute into St. Catharines or Niagara Falls. Easy peasy, no traffic whatsoever. And even if you're going into Niagara Falls and get caught by the bridge going up, letting a magnificent ship go through the canal, you'll still arrive in your destination quicker than you are going to travel 4 blocks in downtown Toronto, if you know what I mean. But maybe you have to commute further than St. Catharines or Niagara Falls. Again, like many Pelhamites do, they will commute into Hamilton, a hop, skip, and a jump down the QEW, and there you're in Hamilton, or to Toronto. So as we're talking about all these communities, let's jump back over to the map and let's see how we get around from Pelham to these other areas. So we're going to back out here, and we can see here's Pelham, Toronto, Hamilton, Burlington, Oakville, Mississauga. Those are the main areas that people commute to. So it depends on what end of Pelham that you live as to how you're going to get onto the QEW. We have mentioned the QEW in previous map tours coming in the Niagara region because the QEW is the main thoroughfare for anyone exiting the Niagara region getting into the rest of Ontario, specifically the GTA. And here that highway is right here. You connect to the 403. That can take you into Toronto. You can also jump onto the 407 if you want to pay those tolls, which right here connects you to the 401 and then the 410 to get yourself in and around Toronto. We're not really talking about traveling into Toronto because everyone knows that if you're traveling into Toronto, here on in is red most of the time, no? Now, you do get some red highways oftentimes here at the Burlington Skyway, just about at the Red Hill exit off the QEW, going either way. If there's construction or an accident, you can get red lined here as well. But usually this stretch of the QEW flows pretty quickly and easily at or above 100 kilometers an hour. Now again, if you are on the west side of Pelham, over here, Vineland Road or Highway 24 will take you right up to the QEW through Vineland. If you're on the east end of Pelham, it is a little jaunt up Highway 20 to the 406, along the 406 to the QEW. So if you live anywhere in this area of Pelham, you can get to the 406 on a number of different connections here. Highway 20 up through Smithville will take you right into Hamilton. Or you can go up here to Highway 8, which becomes King Street, Main Street into Hamilton as well. Those routes are going to take you a little bit longer. If you stay on the QEW from midsection Pelham, you can get into Hamilton in about 1 hour or less. Grimsby right here is about 30 minutes. Anywhere is up along here, again, depending on when you can go. Burlington is, again, about an hour, a little bit over an hour. Oakville, maybe an hour and a half. Toronto, maybe 2 to 3 hours, again, depending on traffic. The good thing is that there is the GO station, the GO train, if you want to jump on there at the Aldershot station right here. Or you can get on the GO bus will take you to an hour to get you to the GO train, and the GO train will take you about an hour and a half to get you down to Union Station. So those are ways by which to get from Pelham here to Toronto, Mississauga, Oakville, Burlington, and Hamilton. But I'll tell you that there are a lot of Pelhamites, people who reside and live in Pelham, who commute not only to Hamilton and Toronto, but they will also commute to here, to Niagara Falls, New York, and or Buffalo for work. And those areas are a lot closer. Again, from here in Pelham, you get onto the Highway 20, takes you right into Niagara Falls, and you have the Rainbow Bridge, or up here, the Lewis and Queenston Bridge, if you want to cross into the United States via Niagara Falls. There are a number of ways that you can get over here to Buffalo. Again, you can go to Highway 20 to the QEW. You can take the 406 down to Port Colborne to Highway 3. And there are a number of different back roads here. You can get into Point Albano Road and Metler Road. And if you choose to move down here, Ellen and I will map everything out and help you make that commute in and around the Pelham area on those back streets easy peasy. So don't worry about that right now. Those are the major routes on how to get to Niagara Falls, New York, and or Buffalo. So tell us, what is your current maximum commute time from your home to your place of work? Add that to the comments. Let us all see what commuting is like outside of the Niagara region. Maybe your job takes you to be a globetrotter, or you just like to travel. If you watched any of our map tours from the other towns and cities in the Niagara region, you already know what I'm going to tell you. We have 4 different airports for you to choose from, for you to fly out of. We have the Toronto Airport just out here in Mississauga. We have the Monroe International Airport up here in Hamilton. Then there's the Buffalo Airport, which is about here in Buffalo, and of course Niagara Falls Airport in this area about here. Toronto Pearson International, it's going to take you about an hour and a half to get to. If you take the 407, you can pretty much depend on it taking you an hour and a half. And that's a global hub. Flights everywhere and anywhere in the world. Monroe Hamilton International Airport is going to take you 45 to 60 minutes to get to there from Pelham. And the Hamilton airports can get you quick flights anywhere in Canada on all of our major Canadian airways. Buffalo here, again, it'll take you 40 to 60 minutes to travel to the Buffalo airport, which flies all throughout the United States, domestic flights, and into the Caribbean and Mexico. And then we have the Niagara Falls International Airport, which is the closest airport there is to us here in Pelham, and that'll take you 30 to 45 minutes. And some of that the biggest delay could be right there at the border when you're crossing into the States. But the nice thing about flying out of American airport is you do customs in the States if you're flying domestically in the United States. So you don't have to do the customs at the airport, you're doing it at the land crossing, which is usually a little bit easier and quicker for you at the airport. That's transportation in and out of Pelham. Now, what about transportation inside of Pelham? As we zoom into the map here, we can see that there's a lot of green space in Pelham. I've already told you, you've heard this, Pelham is an agricultural hub. Farming is its main industry, and as such, your next door neighbor could be a kilometer away. Therefore, traveling in and around Pelham can be somewhat of a challenge if you do not have a car. Although growing up in the area, I know a lot of people bike from one place to the other when they were in Pelham as kids. If you want to travel outside of Pelham, the Niagara region does have a regional bus service that connects all the towns and cities of Niagara together. They do not run very often in Pelham. You would have to get yourself into Font Hill, which is right here, to the Meridian Center right here. And that seems to be the hub for the bus stops. And the nice thing also, though, that Niagara region offers for their bus services is what I call a hybrid bus system. It runs on a route, but it travels when you want it to travel. The regular bus system runs on a schedule. So you have to be at the bus stop at a certain time to get on the bus to get to the stop at a certain time. The hybrid bus system gives you the opportunity to give a call to tell the service when you're going to be there. They'll pick you up at that scheduled time that you made between yourself and the bus service, and they will take you to your destination stop, whether that be to the bus stop in St. Catharines or down to Welland, where you can make a connection and get elsewhere in the Niagara region. Or if you go up to St. Catharines bus stop, then you can access anywhere in the world by the GO Transit there. So that's how you can travel in and around Pelham and in and around the Niagara region if you don't have a car. But again, I would recommend either having a car or maybe owning the bus system if you want to do it. So that pretty much wraps up our map tour. So that's Pelham. Friendly faces, scenic spaces, and maybe some sticky pancakes to go along with it. If you enjoyed our video, please hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so that you can be one of the very first people to hear of anything happening here in Niagara region. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking us out. Remember, Niagara living is all about the community, the scenery, and the perfect work-life balance. So until next time, hope you can find that balanced life.